Fuck the four. What's up, guys? Welcome to all the crowded rooms. Make sure to
like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. As soon as those episodes are posted, you'll be alerted.
crack
He's
that.
totally better than me.
Oh, no,
I
dude.
can't do that.
Listen, you're training.
I mean, we're 15 episodes deep right
You're
now.
15 today. Congratulations, you get
15?
a beer.
Okay,
You get a beer for
Seltzy
that.
boy.
You get a Seltzy boy right now. Yeah, so, yo, Jesse, for anyone
That's so much better than any White Claw I've ever tried.
Bro, it's because it has Rona in it.
The Rona.
The Rona's the cure. Let me go ahead and say this right now to everybody. So today we have Jesse James Smith. He
What's up,
is a young entrepreneur killing it in the game right now. While if he's not at home drumming, killing the beats, he's over there killing the weights, making sure he inspires everyone around him 24/7. I've been knowing this guy for a few years now, and it was love at first sight. So I'm happy to have you on today.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Had to have the Philly boy on.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
A fellow YouTuber.
A fellow YouTuber,
Oh, bro, we're all YouTubers.
Yeah.
We are.
This is that mood you get when you're like finally like diving into your passion. You're like, I don't even know if I'm gonna make it, and you start fucking networking and work. You know, just like making it happen, working with other people in the field, bringing yourselves up together.
So, like, back in 2017, when I actually, like, was trying to take it seriously, I had 2 channels. So there's a channel floating around of, like, old vlogs that I have of, like, fitness and stuff. And I, in my head, like, trying to be an entrepreneur at, like, 19 years old, I was like, all right, how can I, like, have 2 channels that coincide with each other so I can cross promote instead of just making
classic.
one channel like I have now of just everything that I like. I tried to make these 2 different personas that completely like cross between each other.
Sure.
And
What were they? Were they the working?
so fitness, yeah. So I had a fitness channel that was strictly fitness, like every fitness YouTuber ever that you can find. And then I had like my drum cover channel. So I was like, all right, well, what if I do like the drum cover channel, then have like a behind the scenes over here, so I can like throw this over here instead of just doing the same channel. It didn't work like at all.
Okay.
You know what's crazy? Just butt in real quick. I'm realizing that separating your shit isn't always the best because you want to cross promote. I just turned the Grand Art Bulking Instagram into the Electric Halloween Instagram. I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah,
I have 2
wow.
different things going on right now. I might as well just
Merge
it all together. It's all the same.
Well, what was the thing? Was it you that sent me that video that Gary Vee had? He was just like, you're trying to find your niche.
Yeah.
But the honest truth is that you're the niche.
Yeah.
Like the things that make you, that's your niche. It's not fitness. It's not finding fitness as your own separate niche or drumming your own separate niche. The fact that you do both of those makes you, and you're the niche.
Bro, dude, real quick, just jump off. That's like what it's literally just a quote from like what Miles Davis said, the fucking jazz player. He was like, you know, I just spent all these years trying to sound like him or be more like this musician over here when I just needed to be myself.
Facts.
That's so true. And there's a Logic song. So I like all types of music. So like my favorite rapper is Logic, and one of the end of his song, he was talking about how it's not even him. It was like this philosopher, like this like speaker that everyone takes like sound bits from. But he was talking about if you like something, there's going to be people that like the same exact thing as you. So you should just kind of do it. And what I was trying to do at first was trying to cater to other people instead of catering to myself. And the one thing that I've seen every lifestyle YouTuber that I look up to say, the first thing is find out why you want to do it and then be yourself and what you want to do. And then when I look back on it now, like I watched my old channel before I made my new one, and I was just like, yo, I was trying way too hard. Like, I wouldn't have taken myself seriously because I could see how hard I was trying. And now it's completely different where I'm just like, I sat myself down and was just like, I really don't care if anyone watches me. I'm doing this for myself and to be creative for myself. Because I was at a point where I wasn't creating what I wanted. Like, I was just going through the motions of life.
What will get you the most plays or whatever? Like,
yeah. So, like, I was like, instead of thinking, what would give me the most plays? Like, what are people searching? Because I actually signed up for this, like, YouTube marketing guy to kind of give me, like, all right, so...
Give me some insight.
Yeah, like, how do I title my tracks? Like, how do I make a thumbnail? you know, like, what do I do? Because my thumbnails for my drum covers are just still shots from the drum cover. And I was like, all right, well, how do I make that? Which gave me some insight, but also gave me some other insight into point of being like, well, you just gotta be you and just kind of do what you do, be authentic, because people can smell and see inauthenticity.
Yeah, they see bullshit right there.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy that you say this when we just filmed the other video and you said the whole thing about social anxiety and how, like, you saw our video with Dom talking about getting how to deal with social anxiety at local shows and stuff like that. That was a video and a clip that I genuinely wanted to post because it was something that I super related to. And I'm like, you know what? I know that, like, other people are probably going to deal with the same issue, and the fact that I'm putting this out for myself, I hope that other people like it, and it's good, ties into everything that you're saying right now.
Yeah, it's super important to actually, like,
and I'm glad that you
that.
connected with it too.
Oh, I connected.
That meant the world to me when you said
out of that whole video. When he said that, I was
shout
like,
out Dom.
Yeah, shout out Dom Stone. And shout out Freeze MF. But yeah, totally. So that's something that I've really, really struggled with social anxiety. And it's really funny because when I first started fitness, especially when I first started fitness, when I first started competing as a bodybuilder, or like men's physique, whatever you want to call it, the typical guy will post with his shirt off, showing his abs and stuff. No one thinks that you're anxious about anything.
Yeah.
You get labeled very quickly. And which I was totally prepared for. Like, I know what I look like. Like, I totally know I fit the fuckboy stereotype.
Beefcake.
I totally know it.
beefy boy.
And that's why, like, Tinder was not my friend. Like, I totally get it. It was so funny. So going on, like, Tinder dates, like, I would use the photos that I liked. I was like, I look good here.
Yeah.
So when I would go on Tinder dates, like 9 times out of 10, no bullshit, women would either be expecting a fuckboy or like expecting that, and I'm like, no, I'm like a real person. Like, I really want a relationship.
I have an opinion. I have feelings.
Like, I'm literally paying for this whole date. Like, I'm taking you out, and that would catch them off guard, and I'd just be sitting here like, so this is not what you want? Like, what do you want? Like, I need to know now.
And then they tell you what you want and what they want, and you're just like, oh, shit.
So going back to the social anxiety thing is, like, going to shows. To me, going to shows, going to social events that I either know someone, like, let's say, you invited me to a party, like, here, and I know you, and I know you were going to be there, but I know you're going to have people that I don't know, and I know I'm not going to be able to shadow you the whole time. That freaks me out.
Yeah.
I skipped one of my old best friend's birthday parties because of that. I got all the way to his house, saw all the cars, and left.
Wow.
Before even going.
So it's people that you don't
It's people that I
necessarily
don't know because...
Are you afraid to network and make friends?
It's not even to network, because networking, to me, is business.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
all
gonna
for
get
business.
something out of it. You're trying to
all
get
for
somewhere
business.
with someone.
Like, if I was going to network my social media or going to network my YouTube, totally different. Because that can be like, oh, I have this thing that I feel confident about. Like, I know I'm good at this.
Yeah.
Like, I know I can lift 400 pounds off the floor.
Yeah.
I know I'm a good drummer. Like, I have people telling me that. I have the views to prove it. So, like, here, listen to me, please. But if I'm going to network me as a person, my anxiety and my, like, mental illness is really like, you're not proven to be a great person in all aspects, so it's hard to sell myself instead of my skill. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Even though, like, I think I'm a good person.
I love you, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
You're a great guy.
Thank you.
I don't know why you have these kind of anxieties. I think that's insane because you've personally reached out to me, like, commenting on how much you love the podcast. And then I was at Electric Halloween, and you personally came up to me, introduced yourself. So hearing all this, I'm just like, I can't believe that. I'm sorry you feel this kind of social
Yo,
anxiety.
you want to know what's so funny?
What?
Is, like, I looked at you as being, like, this famous guy. That,
Really?
Like, oh my God, 100%.
There you go, you're famous.
Love this podcast.
Thank you.
Love it. I watch every episode.
Nice.
Like, as soon as it comes out, I'm like,
Love that.
Love
And
it.
I love how, you went from fan of the podcast to being
Do you
on the
remember?
podcast.
Yeah, and now I'm on the podcast, which is crazy. And
Dreams do come true.
100%. And do you remember the first time me and you actually met face to face? Do you remember what we tried to film? I laid down. I tried to bench press you.
Wait, really?
At Electric Halloween, you were like,
Man,
do
you
you
must have
think
been fucked up.
do you think you can bench press me? And I was like, I think so. So I laid down on the dirt. And, I actually hurt my wrist, and I never told you. But
Where is this video? Where is this video?
I didn't take it.
Who took it?
Andrew from
Hopefully we can-
Summerbed.
Hopefully
he
we can
took
plug this
it.
in. I don't remember this whatsoever.
We're gonna
But
have
it
to
was on.
interrogate him.
I don't know. So all I remember is because didn't your persona have a rehearsal
Downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were going there and you were talking to someone, and I came up to you and told you. And you knew who I was.
Mm-hmm.
So you were like, oh man, I've been watching you fitness and stuff. Do you think you could bench press me? And I was like, yeah. So I think I got a whole rep. But bench pressing a person and
It's
bench
kinda
pressing
wild.
in bar,
Yeah.
a bar is so different.
Damn.
So okay. So if you have anybody in your friend group that lifts a lot of weight, that is not the same as moving your house. I hate that. So because I can lift, everyone's like, "Can you help me move?"
Yeah.
No, lifting a couch is not the same.
Yeah.
Stop it. I don't
Yeah.
want to do that. I lift it all day.
You know who's the best mover, hands down? Tyler Mazza. Tyler Mazza is the expert god / master of moving houses out.
Oh, really?
he really?
That's his job?
Well, his dad, they co-own both an antique store, so they're always doing house cleanouts. And sometimes I'll be like, man, how the fuck am I gonna move this shit through the door? And Tyler's like, simple, easy, obviously.
All right, so now if I'm ever moving,
You hit
I'm
up
gonna call
Tyler Mazza.
I'm gonna call Tyler
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
Yo, how do I fit this
Yeah, send him a
couch
picture. He'll tell you how to do
outside
it.
of how do I fit this couch
Into
in
a
my
window.
closet into a window?
Yeah, you don't need him
Dude,
to
I
be
just
there.
I
consult
just
him.
moved into the 5th story. How do I get my grand piano?
Oh, he'll
there.
just tell you the simplest way, probably. Tyler's a fucking madman.
Easy elevator.
You know what's crazy? Going back to anxieties and shit like that and going to shows. You know what I realized is hilarious? People who are behind the scenes making the shit happen with the most people there or just involved in the production, all of us. You know what I mean? We all seem to really not like being in crowds by ourselves.
I don't.
I do, but I have not even a lie. I kind of need to have a Rona or two, or I need to know what I'm getting. But going to shows for some reason, or going to anything, I guess it's just I'd rather be involved in making it happen than actually being in the crowd. You know what I mean? That's just been my kind of thing.
I disagree. I
He's
hate
a party boy.
I hate being the person that I've booked a bunch of shows for heaven's sake. It reached the point where I was just no one's fucking helping me out in the scene. I'm trying to reach out to people to get things going. I'm I'm just gonna set up my own shows, and I had no idea what I was working with or what I was even doing. And the whole time my heart's just beating out of my chest. I'm what if no one shows up? I'm gonna lose money on this, and the band, and it's not just my money because my band, they told me that they'd have my back. So I'm gonna lose money for my band and stuff
gonna
like
look
that.
like an idiot.
I'm gonna look like an idiot. And
Do you know?
yeah.
So my old band, I started my old band that got pretty popular in the social, in the South Jersey scene.
Mm-hmm.
I started my band when I was 14.
What was the band called?
You're on
Lessons learned.
Okay.
And yeah, we got out of nowhere. We got pretty popular at that point. We played Warped Tour. We did we opened up for the All Star Tour in 2014, something like that. Big shows. And I remember booking talking to the promoter on one phone and the tour manager of a Muir at the other phone in the back of my school bus.
Ha!
Wow.
So I loved it. So I remember playing this rinky-dink, hole-in-the-wall, VFWs and stuff, and I would tell my band, because I was band dad, I was look, if no one shows up, think of this as live practice. Mm-hmm. This is how you're going to perform live.
Yeah.
So think of this as just a practice rehearsal space that we get to do for free.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I would say too.
I also think coming from a drummer, the anxiety is a little bit different than someone that like a lead singer or something, because they have to provide the banter in between songs.
They don't always have to.
They don't have to, but it's pretty standard.
It is pretty standard, and luckily
And it
I
should
had.
be them. I feel you.
They should have this level of confidence where
Yeah, they should be the face of the band,
because
getting
anyone
the
could
crowd.
anyone could smell out like an insecure frontman,
Yeah.
and that kind of just like sets the mood of like if you see a confident frontman, you're like, yo, this band's cool, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But like an insecure one, you're just kind of like,
I mean, you could smell it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my vocalist back in the day, he was younger than me. Me and him were the youngest members, and I remember talking to him about being confident on stage and being commanding. He was like a 6-foot skinny kid, like maybe 120 pounds. But he literally sounded exactly like Phil Bozeman from Whitechapel, like at 15. It was
Damn.
insane. And I remember him like talking to him about it and like pulling him up and be like, yo, like you have the power. Like you have the microphone. No one will ever be able to over yell your microphone.
Yeah.
Ever. Like not even me on stage yelling into the snare mic.
Yeah.
I will never be able to. You have the power. And I remember it clicked in him one day and he just started, which was now going back to what we were talking about YouTube, he just started doing what he wanted to do. There's videos on Warped Tour of my old band, him rolling on the floor. And I used to hate it. I hated it so much. To give an example of how little he gave a fuck, we opened up the biggest tour of our life. We won a slot to open up like the 2014 All-Star Tour in New York City. Sold out, 2,000 people. Icy Stars and the Acacia Strain were headlining.
Wow.
Johnny Craig was back with like Slaves. It was like
time.
the most stacked lineup I've ever seen in my life. We are the only local band, the only ones. We're working directly with the tour manager on how to sound check, how to do everything. For his sound check, he screamed, like, sound check, the whole entire national anthem.
that's pretty funny.
That's hilarious.
I couldn't believe it. I was mortified. Not only that, so at the time, Johnny Craig was like clean, like he just started Slaves, like they were popping off. They were there watching. Early Siler was there, like watching a sound check, and he's just screaming the national anthem in front of every band that I've looked up to, and I'm just like, I don't even want to play anymore. Like,
So you're embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed. He could care less. And I was just like, I went up to him. I was just like, why did you do that? And he goes, check the mic. And I was just like, it works. So it was showing to me that like he really didn't care. And after that point, he was super commanding, but just because he didn't care anymore.
Yeah, and that's an important step though. You can't care.
And it was so cool because he wanted to do what he wanted to do, and now looking back on it, I was like, he was so entertaining.
But the thing is like there has to be a degree of caring, because you can't just go ahead and say I don't give a fuck about anything and then do something offensive or something like that and then ruin the band and reputations of the other people involved in the project.
True. There's a band that like took snippets from like Columbine and like got called out for it. But like,
You mean the band Columbine?
no.
Okay.
No, Amur.
Okay.
One of their songs,
know.
one of their shirts had like one of the stills from the security footage.
Whoa.
Yeah, well, the song, like their opening of this album was like probably their best album in my opinion, was like about that. And there's one thing about saying that and like doing that, and there's another thing about being like truly offensive. Like that's completely. There should be red flags, even as a human, but there should be red flags as an entertainer or someone that you're looking up to. There's a difference between confidence and cocky and dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's confidence of portraying confidence. Like, you're going to listen to me and do what I say.
Yeah.
The best frontman I've ever seen do this was the now ex-vocalist of Varials. Shout out Philly. But say what you want about his own vocals, he was the most charismatic, commanding vocalist I've ever seen. Like, I was watching him, I was like, damn, I'm about to do what he says. Like, if he says sit down, I'm sitting down.
Yeah.
And then there's, like, cocky, that I don't like.
Yeah.
I can name it, like, Falling in Reverse.
Oh, yeah.
I don't fuck with him, like, at all.
I mean, he tries to fight 16-year-olds in the crowd that flip him off. Like,
So, Rock Sound, back in Self-Help, when it was in Philly,
yeah.
there's a video that Rock Sound, I'm gonna call you out, of Ronnie Radke, like, talking shit. It was my video, and they never gave me content. It was my video from Twitter.
Oh, really?
I found the SD card not the SD card. I found the video of it, and I played it back and forth. I was like, that's my fucking video.
So
It's
wait,
like,
say
doesn't
this
even-
again. Who stole what? What
Rock
is
Sound,
Rock Sound
magazine
Wow.
took my video from Twitter and did
Wow.
not give me credit.
Wow.
That's a
Thanks,
big thing.
Ronald.
I'm
That's-
glad you got your justice today.
That's a big thing, though. Did you know Aaron Carter and how he's having his little like clout comeback?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I love his album.
Really?
It's so good.
And you don't like Justin Bieber's.
Sooner or Later is such a good song.
What do you think about him as a person? He's kind of.
Oh, that's
wilding
completely
out.
different.
He's wilding out.
So,
Who cares?
I've watched I've watched interviews of his.
He's like
and,
saying like
some of
people
the things
are,
that
the
he,
government's after him and stuff, and
Maybe
that
they
you
are.
should donate to him and stuff. Maybe
Yeah,
they are.
maybe
Maybe they are.
Dude,
I'm into the
you-
whole Illuminati thing, and
really?
maybe they don't like the fact that he's talking.
We were
shit on
just
Nick
talking
Carter.
about how Michael Jackson didn't go on that plane before 9/11. I said it. And you know what I mean? What do you mean?
It's a myth.
It's a myth.
But yeah, there was a whole
No,
thing
he's
with him apparently
crazy.
where he was reposting other artists' artwork and claiming it, or he wasn't necessarily claiming it was his, but he was promoting his merch line with someone else's artwork.
Didn't he? Yeah. Didn't he like claim that someone stole his idea for a
Yes.
merch design?
I actually do
It was
remember.
like
Yeah.
It was like a tie dye. It was like a tie dye shirt.
It was bleached shirt.
That's what it was. Yeah, he said on like
No Jumper.
No Jumper.
Yeah.
What one of like the 6,000 interviews that he has there.
I love it. Yo, change pace real quick.
Let's do it.
Questions.
Answers.
Do you have them?
Do I have questions?
No, answers.
I do have maybe. I don't know.
Answers. All right,
Do I have questions? No.
Yeah, you know, I've been wondering this.
We're
Who,
gonna turn
who
this
are
around.
you? Yeah, we're gonna turn this
Where
around.
are you? Fuck.
I'm doing the interview here.
You're my fucking subordinates. All right. So, you have a channel going on now.
I do.
Tell us more about it. Tell us what you're trying to do, what your goal is with it. Tell us, every single fucking thing you can about it. Because every time I'll come into your shop, we're just bouncing ideas off each other. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I want to really dive into that.
Yeah, so okay, it's 2020. So 2 years ago, I made the decision to sell my drums to actually move to Philly. Bad mistake. Don't
Where'd
do
you move
that.
from?
Atlantic City area.
Oh, nice.
Like
I'm from
right-
Ocean City.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, I
might
worked in
move to
Ocean
Philly
City.
soon.
Did we talk
You
about this?
definitely should.
All right,
might.
continue.
I think we might have, but I worked at. Yes, we did. We did talk about this because I worked at the go-karts.
Right.
We did talk about this
Cool.
at El Camino.
Nice.
You guys went to El Camino?
We did.
After the freeze
After
game.
the free show.
Oh, I would have
That
been.
you should have been
I
there.
was sick throwing up.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I threw up like 6 times that morning. Don't do the carnivore diet without taking minerals and not minerals, vitamins. Blah.
Oh, we're gonna get to that.
All right,
I'm
let's
gonna
talk
call
about-
you out.
That was a good time.
But no, it's not a good time.
Let's go. All right.
But going back to my channel, like I kind of said earlier, is back in 2017 I released my "Don't Let Me Down" cover. This is something actually no one knows. I released that out of spite.
What?
I did.
Out of-
So I was in a band.
Give us the tea.
Tea time. So I was in a band at the moment, and this band is now signed. I'm not going to name them. But
I want to know. Tell me off camera.
yeah, I'll tell you off camera. They're now signed under a new name, but they're not signed in like the greatest record label.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know you know who.
Wow, that was easy.
Well,
Anyone
you
watching
know,
this knows right now.
you know, but because
right.
you've talked to the other members.
All right.
So, okay. Now me and the members of that band have made peace, especially one of them. We've
nice.
made peace, everything's fine. But at the moment, we did not. And I quit the band out of some difficulties, and I wanted to prove to myself and to kind of everybody else that I didn't need them.
Facts.
Like, I don't need a band. I've always been band dad, and I was like, I can do this on my own. You
Hell
need
yeah.
to, like, listen to me.
Yes.
Instead of you trying to tell me what to do. Like, I'm the one, like, I think, eat, shit, sleep, band business. So I remember I was like, all right, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to hire a videographer. I'm going to go to a real studio, get stuff. So Don't Let Me Down came out, and I was like, I got to do it. It's like top in the charts, and like it has the potential. So I did it.
Drum cover.
Yeah. I needed to do the drum cover to kind of prove to myself, I'm like, I can do this without you.
I love it.
So I released that video. I was at Applebee's. I was eating apps. And I got the video back and I was like, I literally had two of my friends and I was just like, well, let's see what happens. So all the views on that is 100% organic. I didn't know that was going to happen. So I wasn't prepared.
What was the final count that you had up to this point?
Up to this point, it's like 96,000.
Which is more than
It's gonna hit 100,000.
It's going to hit 100,000 soon. So that's definitely like the better drum cover. And like I remember going to record, I was like, yo, this is dope. Like
That's
I
a lot
love
for
this.
a cover song too.
That was the first video of anything I have ever done. And there was a fresh, it was my Google account. I was just like, yeah, let's do it. Let's just see how it was.
Let's do it.
And I shared it, and like in like 2 months, I got like 20,000 views, and I was not prepared to like keep going with that.
Ooh.
So like when having when having a YouTube channel, you have to have consistent content
every week, baby.
One every week, one every 2 weeks, depending on what you want, and depending on what the channel is.
We have one every day.
Facts. Why am I looking over there?
Well, yeah, because you can.
I'll just get up. But so I wasn't prepared for that because I didn't know. But I released it and I knew it was quality. I was like, all right.
So
cool.
wait, are you prepared now?
Yeah.
You're 100%.
Oh, 100%.
Cool. Are you sure?
Oh yeah.
He's prepared.
Oh, I'm prepared.
He's prepared.
I'm prepared.
All right.
So I'm 100. Yeah. Yeah. So when
100 what?
I'm 100% prepared.
100. Oh,
So
only
when
100.
I did that, I wasn't really like ready to like.
When you put that out, oh, bro, I was like, this is so fucking cool. I thought it was so cool.
So I
don't even think I knew you personally.
I actually
yet.
got a sponsorship out of that.
Really? I didn't even really know you. Like, we knew of each other, but I didn't like. We weren't like where we are now.
Yeah, we are not. We were definitely not where
You know
we
what I
were
mean?
now.
So when I saw that, I was like, this is sick.
Thank
This
you.
is so sick.
I always wondered that about drum sponsorships because that seems to be a big thing. Like for
They're
drummers.
very easy to get.
And how do you
Are
go
they?
about them, though?
They're very easy to get, but they're not like what you think.
Okay.
So what are they? You want to like try
So
to explain it to people?
yeah. So there are tiers for majority. Like I'm talking about the custom drum companies that everyone knows, especially if you're into metal. Everyone knows the three, in my opinion, the three big ones, which is Dark Horse, Truth, and SJC. SJC is probably the leading one now.
Yeah.
I'm sponsored by Dark Horse Percussion.
That's the same as like Peo and Kayanashi.
Peo and Kayanashi, yeah. Dylan Taylor, I believe his name
I
is.
forget which one Jeremy is.
SJC.
Same. So
And
your persona.
yeah, your shout out to your persona. But the Wonder Years
Okay.
was the Wonder Years and Streetlight Manifesto are the
Streetlight
big Dark Horse guys.
Cool.
So how that goes is there's tier systems, and it's how big you are compared to how many people that you play for. You know, so like me, even though like I have the backing of Dark Horse, and I'm very, very close with the owner of Dark Horse. I literally was just texting him today.
Cool.
I don't get anything for free. Nothing for free. I get a little bit of discount, or I get like, hey, if you buy this drum kit, like my drum kit's being made right now. Because I'm very close with him, and because he's actually a New Jersey brand, I got a loaner kit to start these drum covers. So he had a kit already made that, like, let's say the Wonder Years was like, I'm going back on tour, I need a kit, like right now. He would give him that kit and be like, okay, play this kit until yours is made. So that's what I have.
Cool.
And mine's being made. So I have that. And that's not necessarily like a low tier guy. The low tier guy would be like, okay, buy a drum kit. This is what SJC does. Buy a drum kit, full price. Get an SJC kit. You're automatically on our artist roster. you get like a page or you get some promotion. But after that, once you start growing, then you start getting like a little bit of discounts, or like you maybe will post your videos and stuff like that. So
Yeah, give them an incentive.
so I bought a Dark Horse kit before that because I knew that's what I wanted.
Oh shit, right off the cuff.
Right off the cuff. I actually bought mine on eBay.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Alright.
Worked my whole summer and bought mine on eBay. Well, I put out that video and they reached out to me. Actually, the owner now was an AR rep.
Oh, okay.
So he hit me up and was like, yo, I see you playing Dark Horse and I know you're not on our roster. Let's get you a custom snare and put you on a roster. So I did. Got a custom snare, which is in my second video. And then now I've been with them ever since. But when I sold my drums, me and him stayed in contact.
So even after, like, you kind of went MIA from the YouTube channel, you still have that contact and you're still on the roster. It's not like they dropped you.
No, they
And
didn't.
do you think it's because you kept in contact?
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely. And because it was necessarily a smaller company. Like if SJC, if a bigger company would have done it, I probably would have gotten lost. Like in the mix, because they have so much influx.
Yeah.
But because I developed a relationship, and this drum company especially, like Dark Horse, really, really is good with, especially now because it switched owners.
Oh,
so
okay.
especially now, they're really, really good with A&R. There's a website launching soon that I got a sneak peek of that no one knows about. Yeah. So they're really good with A&R. They're really good with like making sure your artist is happy and really picky on like making sure that you present yourself. So when I told him that I was coming back, he was all for it. Like we had a conference call and where he was like, dude, yes, you're on to something. Because I finally was just like, I legitimately don't care if I get 1 view or 1 million views. I'm doing this for myself because I got so bored.
Yeah.
And I got so like, have you ever like just sat there and like really knew that you weren't doing what you're supposed to?
Absolutely.
That's how I felt for the longest time.
That's kind of how I felt with this podcast in a sense, because heaven's sake, we weren't touring like how I wanted to be touring. And with touring comes content. And I'm like, not to like toot my own horn, but I feel like I'm a personality and I'm meant
You
to
are.
be in front of the camera and stuff like that. And
Facts.
I wanted to,
Both of you are.
I wanted to do that with my
I gotcha.
band. But like, we're at the point now with the band where we're writing music and we're not booking any shows. So I'm like, there has to be content being made.
Bro, dude, that's what gets me fucking grinded up. Fucking.
Oh, should we bring in the new
Bro,
segment?
we might as well.
All right, so we have a new segment on the podcast
Ooh.
called
Oh my god, you're the first.
What Grinds Your Gears?
You know what really grinds my gears? You America.
Oh, you know what would have been a great idea?
What?
We call it grinded, and we just fucking, or not grinder, but grinded, and we just like grind up some weed and smoke some fucking pot at the same
Nah,
time.
because I want Jesse a little angry.
You want him mad. You don't want to chill him out.
wanna
You
chill
know
him
what?
out.
Fuck it. I lost my
No,
job.
I told you guys, ask me anything, I'll answer.
All right, cool.
So what grinds
So,
your gears?
What grinds my gears? Ooh, a lot. Squished bread. Broken shoelaces.
What grinds your
Yeah.
gears in being in a band?
Oh my god, yeah. So what grinds when one or more members either A, don't pull their own weight. So
Like?
having to still borrow gear from other bands. That is such a low blow on your band. I would never take you seriously.
There's like a level of professionality where like, if you're if you're saying that you're taking yourself seriously in a band and you don't have your own equipment,
There's a complete difference between, let's say, my band, hypothetically, was going on tour with Heaven's Sake, and I called you and be like, yo, look, let's cut costs. Let's rent a bandwagon. Like, all of us together,
and we share.
and we're like, all right, let's have a back line. Just bring your heads. Drummer brings cymbals. Who's got the best gear? We'll just use that because we're going on the whole tour together. That's completely different than me showing up at a venue going, hey, can I borrow everything you own?
Oh. And not have to pay you when it gets broken.
Number one, as a guitarist, how the hell are you gonna have the same tone? Tone is everything with your guitar. So a tone from a line 6 is different from a Mesa.
Yeah. So
A tone from an orange. A tone from an orange is different from an Axe Effects. So if you're going up to someone one show with like a Marshall, like the entry level Marshall, and the next show this guy has an Axe Effects Ultra,
It's like, do you even give a shit?
you don't.
Yeah.
And I know you don't.
If you name any of the big bands, like you could go like classic rock and stuff like that, like AC/DC, Angus Young. What do you think? JCM 900. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's the signature sound because he gives a fuck. This is what my band's supposed to sound like.
Well, you know what's funny about that too is that even if like let's say you're like a promoter and you're booking bands and shit like that, if it's like a big headliner, like anytime when I booked like Fit for an Autopsy, or when I was booking like Strawberry Girls or fucking like Thank You Scientist, like there was a fucking like they were like, if we're gonna come out there, you need to supply gear, you know what I mean, to bring costs down. And the gear, they at least let you know like what we can accept are these types of heads or these types of cabs, like that's what we can do, you know what I mean? So that way, and that's how you know you're professional, what you're willing to work with. And that's the difference right there. If you know someone's on the bill with you and you're familiar with each other's setup and you're like, oh, well, this would make it easier for me, especially if it's only for like a one-off or some shit, that's different. But a whole tour, if you're, or even a fucking local show and you don't know anyone and you're just like off the cuff, hey, let me borrow everything.
That is the number one like give for a local band. If you I'm at the point, especially now, with my bands, I'm a very aesthetic person. Like everything needs to look. You need to look professional. Even if you're a local band, because
you're not trying to be that forever. No,
of course not. So I actually said this when I had a conference call of a new band that I want to join. If you're at a concert, right? And there's an opening band that you don't know, or you've heard of, but you really don't know. And they walked from the back of the venue to the front. You know off the cuff, even if you don't know their music, they're either A, important, or B, they're in a band.
Yeah.
How? Everyone tries to mimic that exact style. Everyone is dressed the exact same. What separates it? No one knows. No one really knows.
That was a big thing for me when I was working with this producer manager like 7-8 years ago. I would show up to practice in my PJs because I'm just like, this is practice. I'm just gonna relax and kick back and then sit down and play my guitar. He would be on my ass and be like, yo, dress the fucking part and stand up during practice. Act like you give a shit. And honestly, it got me in a completely different headspace even to today where I'm just like, all right, I got to look like I'm in a band and I got to play at practice like I'm playing the show.
Perfect example. Back in the day when I stopped doing music for like drumming for a band, I also was a sound guy. Like I ran local shows for sound. And I remember talking to a drummer who I know still today. His band, I'll give him a shout out. It's a band called Life Itself. His name is Joe. He's the drummer. Life Itself is amazing. But I knew his old band Proletariat.
Proletariat.
And I remember him sitting there at their merch table with his snare because he was watching. This was before doors open, and him practicing. Not saying a word to anybody, just going through his rudiments. And I'm watching the opening band set up. And they talk to the friends, jump around, be super loud, and I'm just watching him watch them. And I went up to him, and I was just like, because me and him think the same. I was just like, remember when we used to do that? He looks at me, he's like, yeah. I was like, well, why do you think we're not anymore? Like, why do you think, he goes, without skipping a beat, goes, because we treat this as a business, not as fun.
Damn.
That's the separate. He's like, if I was having a fun band, he's like, of course I'd jump around with my friends, I'd get drunk, of course. He's like, but this is a business, and every time, I don't care if there's one person in the crowd or 1,000, I'm gonna put on the same show.
Yeah.
He's like, so I treat this as a business, even though it still is fun.
Yeah.
This is a business I want, but I still will treat it as a business and be professional from start to end, from when I show up to when I leave. And that is the first sign. If you go to your next local show, you will 100% see which band takes it seriously and what band is there for fun.
Yeah. To counter that, though, I got to say there has to be at least 1 or 2 members in a band that are the fun guys, that are, mingling with their friends, being thankful that they're showing up to the
There's a
gigs,
difference between being personal and unprofessional.
Yeah, I feel like I trend the line of being professional and personable at the same time, where like I can get on, you know what I mean?
There's a fine line. Of course, I was that guy. Mm-hmm. So like, if my old band did any interviews, 9 times out of 10 it was me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
that's a big thing with interviews. You have to have the right people talking in their interviews, because some people like, in bands, they shouldn't even be talking in interviews because they're gonna not represent the brand well.
I just opened up a new one.
He's checking.
You just
He's checking in on you.
I'm just checking in on you, man. I'm just checking in on you. How about you, Mikey?
I just cracked it.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm one ahead. I'm gonna wait.
All right, hold on. Let's look at the size difference.
Bro, if I had one twice as big as yours, I'd still be ahead.
I have to piss right now.
You want to go real quick?
Here's a bottle.
What I mean? I can ask him some trivia questions. All right.
Yeah, ask me some trivia questions. We'll get back to.
You know what's one thing I liked about you the most?
What's up? Right.
Right.
Yes, please.
Let's go.
Gas me up.
I'm gonna gas you up. So, we met probably at one of the most crucial moments of each other's lives, where I feel like we were going through a lot of changes, and I feel the way and the reason why we really respected each other is the way we handled those difficulties, or how we faced adversity.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Bro, you know what I mean? Like, I remember saying this to you, and like now that I've like actually like it's weird because like this year, like for a lot of people who don't know this, like I didn't have a father literally my whole life, and then this year I met my father back in like when I was 21, met him once. Now he's trying to be part of my life right now, and I'm so grateful for it. And I feel like when I met you, it was during a time when you had just lost your father. It was just so, you had inspired me so much, man. You know what I mean? Like I remember I pulled up like right after it all happened, like a day or so after, and just how you could hold yourself together, bro. You know what I mean? That's all. And like the way we like connected that night too, like I don't know, like I've always considered you family from that point. Like there's a certain like cut of cloth that people are from, and like I feel like me and you were from that, because even though I never knew what that was like, I could see how strong you were trying to be, not just like for anyone else, but mostly just for yourself too. You know what I mean? Like, and that's something I've always respected about you. You always somehow were able to keep everyone else in mind, even not just yourself, even through the most stressful of times.
Well, thank you, man.
Yeah,
and I'm glad to hear about your dad.
Yeah, it's really nice. You know what I mean, dude? Like I
didn't even know that,
bro. It's crazy. You know, that's a whole other.
Yeah, we'll talk out. We'll talk out.
Yeah, we'll talk after that.
Yeah,
but like,
we'll talk off camera.
I remember like after that, man. I think it was from that point on where me and you, our relationship really blossomed. You know what I mean?
I remember the exact moment. Like I'll never forget. I actually was just at the place, almost the exact same like actual physical location, where I remember how genuine I needed you in my life. It's when me and an ex-girlfriend were having big problems, and you were more friends with her at this moment than you were friends with me. But me and you went out, and I vented to you, and no bullshit. I told you what was going on. You were just like, no, you're right. You're right. You're valid. And at that moment, I was ready for you to play either devil's advocate or completely be against me.
Yeah.
And I remember you saying that, and I was just like, wait, what? And then we talked about it, and I felt so much better. Then we went back, we talked about it, and we stayed close ever since. And that's when I knew that you were a genuine person.
Yeah.
And, like, not even a genuine person, but, like, cared about people and cared about me. And ever since then, I was just like, I remember you calling me about Electric Halloween, about volunteering.
Yeah.
Hey, can you do this? You think I knew anything about parking?
Bro.
Nothing. I knew nothing about parking. Literally nothing. I was just like, Hey, have you? Sure. Whatever you needed, I was there. Like, of course.
I know. That's why I'm internally grateful, man. They're like, Jesse's the kind of guy who will like be like, you need me to do something? All right, cool. I give you a few details. You show up and you're like, what? Everyone bailed on you last second for volunteering? I'll do a 48-hour shift. No problem. Done.
Yeah.
Done. Done, bro. I fucking love you.
Oh, I love you too, man.
You know what I mean? This is almost like us basically going out online right now. You know what I mean?
Oh, I love you.
I love
so
you,
much.
bud. You're my
See,
fucking.
this is why I wear this ring. I'm taken by Jose.
Yeah, that's actually what it is. You're my fucking brother, bro.
I think it's good to have a good bullshit detector and a big bluff detector.
Bro, it's rough to do
because
that. Sometimes you're so genuine. Like, I'm really genuine. People honestly think I'm fucking trying to just, like, bullshit them. And people aren't used to someone like me.
You really. That's the God's honest truth.
I feel like I do so much for a lot of people. I put my own money out for people and stuff like that and go out of my way to help people and stuff, and I don't get the same return. I have these high expectations that people do the same for me.
That's what I mean, you're fucking
that's what I gotta say. You gotta have your friends, you gotta have a good bullshit detector and know who's really got your back.
Yeah, well, I think that's why we're on the podcast together, you know what I mean? I think there was a point when we were like, I remember we walked outside of like a bar one day. It was me, you, fucking Max and James, and you guys were talking about how you wanted to do this. I was like, fucking do it, you know what I mean? And like it kind of just evolved into its own thing. And I think like the reason why we're all here tonight is because we all reflect something that we find genuine in each other, and that we know we care, we know we're passionate, we know we're trying to do something more for our lives, and that we're not afraid to go ahead and face anything because we know we have people by our sides like each other.
Which is why it's really funny that you say that, is why my social anxiety like really got the best of me for a long time, because I've always been younger than everybody, even by a year.
Yeah.
I've always felt like I had to prove something to somebody.
Yeah.
So sometimes a lot of it comes out of ingenuine in like not a genuine place. I don't know the word for it. But okay. So I'll actually really open up to you guys so you guys can actually know. So when I was 10, I trained for the Junior Olympics. I'm a black belt in Taekwondo. Well, I trained like an Olympian, 5 days a week, like in the summers, running 5 miles with the team. Me and the team weren't really close. They were close because they lived in the same town. We were 10 to like 13.
Yeah.
I didn't live in that town. They all did. I didn't. So when I stopped training, or when I had an off, all of my friends in my town literally at 10 years old stopped fucking with me. I lost every friend I had. They all started talking shit. Like, I didn't like want to hang out with them. Bro, I traveled to California, got 3rd place out of the whole country, came back and no one gave a fuck. The popular kid scored 1 goal in soccer, and everyone literally praised him the whole week. I was like, bruh, are you serious? I could make that goal. Yeah. But so since then, like, I've tried to like show that like I swear to God, I'm a genuine person, guys. Yeah. Like I swear to God. But like sometimes a lot of people, it comes off is like I'm trying too hard, and that's where a lot of my social anxiety, because I feel like I'm being judged all the time. So when I'm meeting people like you and you, when it's just easy to talk to, I'm just like, okay, I can calm.
I think a lot of people have a problem with having the mindset of giving praise where praise is due, and they just kind of sit there in jealousy, and they don't want to, root people on and stuff like that.
You know where I think that comes from, though?
Where?
I feel like that just comes from because, like, the same thing we've all gone through. It's like, people don't want to hear about how good you're doing, because whenever one of them has talked about something good in their lives, people always react hatefully. And it's really rough to be open and for you to, like, people aren't used for me. I can't, you got the promotion that I wanted, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you like, and like people, it's hard for people to be happy for one another, and like, I think it's just a fucking like reaction, you know what I mean? Like a fucking reflex at this point that people need to unlearn.
Complete 180. Like, complete bringing back to exactly where we were talking about before, about my YouTube channel. I went to the gym with a kid who was 18 years old, making more than my mom, my dad, and myself combined at 18 years old, because he had a viral YouTube video, he had a YouTube page, and he got picked up by a really big company. All he had to do, post on YouTube, post on Instagram, $10,000 a month. Easy. Plus YouTube money. And instead of me hating him, being like, you were younger than me, making more than my whole family combined. You know how people say there's the, oh, well, he's a 1 in a million?
Yeah.
I've always had this thought of, I'm 1,000,001. I'm the next one that starts over.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm doing this. That's why probably why you're doing this in a weird way, is that you see Joe Rogan, you see all these podcasts doing it. And even though it's like, in theory, it's really a long shot, it's not. Because everyone who has this idea, one of them's going to do it, the other ones are going to wish they did. But they're going to think it's a long shot, so they're not. Because no one wants to be judged. The one that has the courage to do it because they want to do it is the ones who will get somewhere.
And sticking with it, too.
That's the hardest part.
The hardest
Man, I'm
part
gonna
is
drink
staying
to that. Fucking great fucking. Oh, that was awesome. I love that. Fucking cheers,
So
baby.
that's what brought me back. Is
You're 1,000,001. I love that, bro.
I started thinking about it. I was like,
You should make that into a quote. You should start posting that everywhere, man.
put on a shirt.
You should. That's fucking awesome. You don't have no idea how much I needed to hear something like that.
But like, it's true. Like, oh, 1 in a million. All right, well, I'm 1,000,001. Like, I'm the start over.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the other one that'll do it.
Yeah.
I'm
And
not
you guys
in your
are gonna
million. I'm not
flock
in
to
your
me.
million. I'm in my million.
Yeah.
I'm the one that does it.
Yeah, I
in my
started
million.
it. I started you with the one. I started the
Exactly. I'm the one. You know, and I remember thinking about it. I'm like, well, what am I good at? This and this. I didn't go to college. When I was 15, I was like, college isn't my thing. Like, there was nothing in my life that interested me enough to be in that much debt. Like, if I wanted to be a doctor, a lawyer, stuff like that. Now, okay, hold on. I am not saying don't go to college.
Do it.
Go to college.
Don't go to college.
Don't do it.
Don't go to college. But
College. Wait. Learn a trade.
it's a scam. But I went to a tech high school, so like I got the jump.
Nice.
Cool.
Wait, what'd you do? What'd you focus on?
Hospitality and culinary.
Cool.
So I can cook.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's why you make great chicken.
I make great chicken.
Cheers to chicken.
Cheers.
Cheers to chicken.
Chicken and sauteed broccoli.
I broke vegetarian for the first time in 7 years last weekend.
Yeah, we were fucked up.
We're fucked up on sake shots, and I ate a piece of Jose's chicken.
Great. Since you did it, we'll tell him now. There's is it a quesadilla at El Camino? It's like the Godzilla quesadilla.
Yeah, the case of
the Godzilla.
Godzilla? So it's something like that, where it's like supposed to be for the whole table. And we had this idea to like, what if we ordered it and like one person ate it as a food challenge?
That's not a bad idea. I could do it.
So get me high enough, I could do it.
Yeah, I don't need to be high, baby.
Oh, I do.
Oh, yeah?
100%.
See this? 1,000,001. It's the one who can do it.
So I'm actually having this YouTube video come out. I haven't filmed it yet, but it's happening in the spring. It's already planned out. So there's
Keep talking.
there's
It's like we're pulling out a gun.
yeah, I was like, what the hell is that? There's like food challenges that's really big in fitness. It's so weird that this is in fitness culture. It's called the 10,000 calorie challenge. It is a fitness thing. I want to let this know. The fitness industry is bullshit. Bullshit. Nothing that's in the fitness industry is what it's saying. What is it?
It's CBD bud,
Oh, hell yeah. Where'd you get this?
California.
He's international, almost. He's like
Mr.
coast to
Worldwide.
coast. He's Mr. Worldwide, coast to coast. There we go.
I've been looking for these because they have a hemp blend one that they sold at South Street, but now I can't find them.
Damn.
So, can you send me the link for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
I stopped smoking. I went back to drinking after January. I was like, fuck it. I'll like fucking.
I remember, because I was supposed to fill in for your band, and I remember in practice you were like, I'm not drinking anymore. I'm going on the carnivore diet, and I said, okay.
Well, 3 out of the 3, 2
You gotta try
failed.
different things to see.
Yeah, the
how you
weed's
feel.
good for 2020. I'm gonna burn a whole ounce.
Oh, I have
Come
to be
over.
there.
I'm getting the fucking mattress machine.
Done.
I'm putting
Thank
a fucking
you so
ounce in there.
much.
Letting it. I'm just gonna send it.
So, fitness industry,
Bullshit.
a lot of it.
How so?
They lie.
Who lies?
Everybody.
They.
Almost everybody.
All right, gotcha.
So, okay, I'm going to start here. With fitness industry, a lot of the ripped guys that you're seeing, either A, can be transparent, like Obese to Beast. He was fat. Ooh, that's yours, right?
Yeah,
That's the one he's dashing.
That's Ash.
And so he's pretty spot on, like
Okay.
with what he's doing.
Okay.
But like these other dudes, their genetics are fucking amazing. Like a lot of fitness has to do with genetics.
Yeah.
So example, have you seen the guys with perfect symmetried abs?
Yes.
All genetics. There's nothing you can do that changes that. Nothing. Mine, I have been dick skin lean. I have been on stage for bodybuilding. Mine are like this.
Can we see him on the camera?
Yeah. Send us a photo. We'll put it up, baby.
I'll send you a photo because I don't have them right now. All
right.
Like I can't just be like, boom. Which is another thing bodybuilders go through off season. I'm fluffy as shit right now. Talk to me in 15 weeks, I'll have abs again.
Baby, you look good.
Thank you. But here's the thing, what's so funny, okay, about being a former fat kid, I know I'm holding on to this.
No, you're good.
You're smoking for me right now.
I am. Being a former fat kid, even being this weight, I'm technically still fit. I don't feel it.
But you look so good.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, you could bench press me, man.
I can
You know
bench
what
press you.
Can't
It's
bench press me.
There's a video out there somewhere. I don't know where it is.
We'll find it.
We'll
So,
find it.
To get into fitness, can we
Yes,
talk
let's get into
about
fitness.
Let's talk about we were DMing each other back and forth.
Yes.
A band going on tour, you know.
Yes.
A lot of truck stops. A band's
I have a
gotta
lot of
stay-
people asking me about this.
Yeah. Do you want to give some tips to the crowd listening that wants to know how they can stay either in shape or try to stay healthy while they're on tour?
Cool. So I'm going to give you the fitness or like nutrition on a budget. Because not everybody, because the easy one is to say, all right, hook up with a meal prep company.
It's both weird.
Which I've actually thought about. Like, all right, what if I made a meal prep company that I worked with a band and then sent their meals to their venue?
That's genius. I love this idea.
How much are the stocks I'm in?
It would be expensive, but they're...
It would have to stay in a cooler in their van.
I mean,
right?
you could advertise towards
Nope.
like professional bands.
So-
if they'd probably be down for it.
Not shouting him out, but shouting him out. My barber is the basis to end.
Sick.
Me and him were talking about this. Because there's so many people out there that are vegan, vegetarian, on bands now. In bands. So instead of keeping it in the cooler, which I originally thought, he said, no. Work with their tour promoter or work with their tour manager and just send it to the venues. So if I were to make the meals, right? I would just ship it to, let's say you're playing...
I'm gonna ship it to Voltage Lounge. Right
I'm going to
now.
ship it to Voltage Lounge, that promoter.
Yeah.
Or that promoter would work with me directly. I have X band coming in. They have X band on their rider. Here. This is the menu. So I work, let's say I'm a meal prep company, and I work with the promoter of X venue. And then X venue messages me and says, hey, I have X band coming through. This is their meals. I just send them the meals.
And that's it.
I would just send them meals. So they have a meal. So that's the grand, like, that's the expensive one where you're top band and you have that to everybody.
What if I'm just a band starting up and I'm going
Exactly.
Walmart to Walmart and I'm trying to stay fit and do my routine?
So your number one best friend is going to be a protein powder. They're
Nice.
cheap. They last a month if you do it one scoop at a time.
Yeah.
Some of them. If you get the big ones, last longer. Well, here's the misconception of protein powder. That it's only for people that lift weights. Us as Americans do not get enough protein in our diet.
Facts.
We are all straight carbs and fats. Hence, the avocado toast. There is not a single protein in there.
Really?
Nope.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Avocados are healthy fats.
They are healthy
Toast
fats.
is carbs.
But they have
No,
protein.
toast is delicious. No, I'm just kidding.
They have protein bread though,
If
right?
yes, but if I give you a sandwich with, I'm going to use a great analogy. If
Vegetarian too. 'cause
If I give you a sandwich with 10% ham and 90% shit, would you consider that a ham sandwich? No, it's a shit sandwich with some ham on it.
yeah.
So it's like the same thing. It's like a lot of vegetarians are like, well, peanut butter has protein in it. Well, it has 16 grams of fat and 7 grams of protein. That's a fat source. That's not
What
protein.
about rice and beans? What if I'm just going all Mexicano with it?
So beans have, depending on the beans, have
Depending on the
more
beans.
fat. So this is how a lot of off-season bodybuilders do it, is they take what it has most of and that's their source. So like salmon has majority protein. I don't care about the fat content in it, which has like 5 grams every 4 ounce. Whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm just tracking the protein powders. Okay? Or I'm just tracking the protein content of that piece. There are great stuff that has, in vegan diets that have protein in it. With the vegan diet, it's kind of switched because then it goes to what's known as calories in, calories out. So, in the very most basic terms that I can put to you to lose or gain weight is everybody has what's called caloric maintenance, which means I eat X amount of calories.
And I put out X amount of calories.
So I eat X amount of calories that is the exact same of what I put out daily. What you don't know, like a lot of people, is just sitting here is burning calories to even be a human. To like function is burning calories.
And that's why they say
excess-
we need X amount every day, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and depending on your height, weight, and like activity level, it's different. Like a marathon runner is going to be way different than me.
True.
They're going to have a way bigger energy output, which means calories in, calories out. Meaning if I want to lose weight, it's literally this simple. Eat less than I burn.
Done.
Very simple. If I want to gain weight, eat more than I burn. If you have a high metabolism, like you're super skinny, and you say you eat everything under the sun,
Yeah.
that does not mean you actually eat everything. That means you eat anything, but maybe once or twice a day. But if you up that to 6 times a day, I guarantee you're going to gain weight.
So how do you know how much calories you're burning if you're just existing?
Easy to do it. There's a lot of websites out there.
Yeah, there are. There's even apps for it.
Yeah, there's apps for it. IIFYM. That'll show you your calories. It'll try to tell you how much macros you should eat. Macros are short for macronutrients, which means how many grams of protein, carbs, and fats. There's a ratio. They are what make up calories. It's like, I could be wrong. I need to restudy. I think like a gram of protein and a gram of carbs equal like 4 calories. And a gram of fat equals like 7 calories. It's either 447 or 779. I forget which one it is. I could be totally wrong, but it's around there. So that's what makes up how much calories you should eat. Now, going back to the protein powders, it's going to be your best friend, especially if you're trying to stay leaner on stage, feel better. Americans don't get a lot of protein. 1 scoop of protein, 1 scoop of a good protein powder is almost the exact equivalent of eating 4 ounces of chicken.
So would you say that even if I didn't work out, and I'm obviously not getting enough protein probably.
You're not getting enough protein.
So that's just the standard for most Americans, like you're saying.
9
right?
times
Yeah.
out of 10, you're not.
So me having a protein shake once a day is probably more beneficial than anything else.
Very beneficial.
Cool.
It is very beneficial.
Because of the protein you gave me, I just started working out recently with Christian Whalen.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, fucking.
killing it.
I feel great. I act
Christian's a good dude.
Christian.
Me and him talked for a while.
Bro, wait till you see the stuff I'm putting out for him. I'm gonna talk to you after about this. I'm helping him out with his social media right now. We're about to put out a bunch of stuff for him, dude. I'm super hyped.
Hell
for it.
yeah.
But cool, because before then I was like obviously feeling shitty, and I was like, well, I'm gonna take one of these once a day, because like I remember when I was taking protein, it would make me feel better and I was more alert, and it's so.
Yeah.
You're 100% right about that. I do want to know one thing though. Let's say I only had $10 and I'm in a touring band and I'm at Walmart at night. What would you do?
Dollar store is your best friend.
Really?
100%.
Okay.
Dollar store.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so I'm 23 years old. I live on my own in Philadelphia. I am broke 9 times out of 10. So when I'm on prep for a bodybuilding show, my diet is like this big. Like, there is nothing that can go.
Aren't you spending more at the dollar store, though, because they're technically inflating the sales by a few cents for them to make a profit when you could just buy wholesale?
In turn, yes. In some things,
But for
no.
short term, something
In
like this.
short term,
so when you're on a 2
especially
week,
like this.
Okay, gotcha.
Especially like this, because, like I'm saying, okay, so dollar store has a can of tuna.
Okay.
Okay? Can of tuna is straight protein. Like, that is straight up protein. If you want to go to, let's say we go to Walmart's, because a lot of touring bands, we all know Walmart is the spot.
That's the parking spot.
That is the spot. They're 24 hours and they don't kick you out.
Yeah, and if you're out of country, you get beer and you hang out for the night.
We know.
We all know.
So I'll even go with Walmart. 9 times out of 10, you don't have a stove to cook your meals.
Yeah.
So an easy one is what I call like a tuna slaw. So get like a coleslaw mix,
Okay.
light mayonnaise, and like 2 or 3 cans of tuna. Put it in a big container
And shake the fuck out of it?
and just stir it up.
Oh, okay.
That's very low carb. Like, it's very low carb and it's high protein. So keeping a high protein is going to be the big deal.
And I could do that for like $10, right?
Easy.
Cool. How much do you think I'm spending there?
At Walmart,
Yeah. At Walmart, and what's the difference at Dollar Tree?
honest to God, maybe $10.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Damn. And that's pretty nice.
And that could last you.
And how many people could that feed? Just one or?
No. A whole thing of slaw, if you do it correctly,
Yeah.
that could feed your whole band.
So for $10, I could feed my whole band.
It would be a meal. But it's not going to be like
That's what
for a
I'm-
whole day.
Yeah, but for what
you,
at-
it's going to be all day.
But at
you're
night.
well, most likely you're guaranteed to make that at a show.
So it is
on tour.
But even if I'm
Exactly.
like at night though, like the way your persona, the way we would work, like I'm just gonna throw this in real quick. Like we were like we should just start throwing in on like a fucking meal, and whatever that cost is, we'll divide it up at the end.
So other than that too, everywhere has roasted chicken options.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere has roasted chicken options. Everywhere has, if you find it, McDonald's on their website, I believe, have their calories on
Yeah.
every single thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and also don't buy into the, oh, well, I ate a salad. It's super healthy. That's not. You're lying to yourself, because it actually came out that a McDonald's salad is less calories than a double cheeseburger.
Double cheeseburger for the win,
Wait,
baby.
you mean more?
I mean, yes, it is more. Sorry. Yeah, it's more than a double cheeseburger.
Still stand by it. Still stand by it.
So in theory, what I just said, calories in versus calories out, the cheeseburger would be the better option. But
Wow.
let's be honest, who eats
And it's cheaper, too.
Who eats just a double cheeseburger and goes to bed? You're eating a double cheese? No, shut up. Double cheeseburger with the fries.
No, I
with
don't.
the-
I don't. I
Bullshit.
wouldn't. No, you know what's
Oh,
funny?
that's what your carnivore diet is?
No. I wish, bro. I would have been sick. Like 6 months ago, man, dude. Mickey D's was my boy again. We found new love. It was awesome. Like
I eat it once a year, maybe.
Once
and
a year?
It's usually their breakfast. It's
You know
usually
what's-
when I'm like really craving it.
I went from being like Mickey D's is a phase every 3 years. I was just like,
It really,
I just started
really,
transforming.
honest to God, is. So, okay. So going back into it, that is the basic of calories in, calories out.
What about for vegetarians?
It would be a little bit trickier. You're going to have to eat a lot of vegetables.
Like what, broccolis and shit like that?
Anything. Anything vegetable.
Can we revert back to the salad?
Yes.
Do you know what I noticed that they have?
But the killer. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
That's cool.
The killer of a salad is your dressing, because if you look on it, same thing with like ketchups, onion sauce. It's like it says a tablespoon is a serving. Do you know how much a tablespoon is?
A packet,
it is
right?
not enough to cover one piece of lettuce.
A packet though, right? Like a ketchup packet's a tablespoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how many you use? Like in a whole meal, a lot of other people. It's just.
Yep.
Bro, I hate.
Same thing. You want to know where it gets you to? Peanut butter. Next time you try it, if you have a food scale,
I've seen the tablespoons.
try to weigh out 32 grams. Dude, it's like this big.
No.
And you can't even cover a piece of toast with that.
Nope.
No.
Nope. And you're just like sitting there like, son of a bitch.
But isn't that good to? Oh well, back to what you said with.
But it also depends on
eating
what
too
your
much of
diet
it.
is, and a big thing. It depends on what your goals are. My diet is going to be completely different to yours.
Right.
So
Be fluffy.
My diet doesn't exist.
But it also it depends on. So the foods that you eat, like I told you, is the basic of losing weight,
Yeah.
or the basic of gaining weight,
Or maintaining weight even.
or maintaining weight. How do you want to look? If you're the guy that's like, I want to have abs, big muscles, and look like Adonis,
Yeah.
that's not going to work.
But if you want to just be healthy, get through the day.
Exactly. And just look healthy, yes, that's going to work. Or you don't care how you really look, you just kind of want to feel healthier, that's going to look. I said it this way, especially when I was a trainer. If I say, okay, for you to lose weight, 2,000 calories, say, okay, and you eat 2,000 calories of straight pasta, you're going to lose weight, 100%.
Really?
100%. You're
No.
going to lose weight because it's 2,000 calories. You're
Okay.
going to lose weight. But what are you going to lose? You lose muscle.
I was about to say muscle.
That's
there's no
Are you going to
protein
lose
or anything.
fat? What are you going to look like?
coming
How
from
is your body going to react? That's where you got to think about. So I have a bunch of guys who
Wow.
hit me up about their diets on tour and kind of what they can do a little bit on tour. A lot of guys know, but drummer of Lawrence Shore, me and him are boys.
You are males.
Yeah, me and him are dudes. So like he hit me up on Twitter. We were just talking because I congratulated him on his album. It's
Nice.
amazing. If you
Very
haven't checked
sweet.
it out, Immortal is amazing if you're into deathcore. So he was telling me he's back on like a plant-based diet, which is dope. I want to see. I asked him. It's like, how are you going to do that? Like, how do you find it easy on tour?
Taco Bell.
Because it's very hard to do a plant-based diet, and it's true. Taco Bell, isn't it? It's either Wendy's or Burger King that like their fries are vegan.
I think it's Wendy's.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think it's Wendy's or Burger King. Oh, it's Burger King, right?
It's fried in vegetable oil instead of the same oil that everything else is.
And
Yeah.
big facts for any of the vegetarians listening: McDonald's French fries are actually cooked in meat oil, so
Yes.
it's not vegetarian or vegan.
It's not at all. That's exactly what I'm saying. Is like not a lot of people know that.
I love you guys.
Yeah, like not a lot of people know that. So yeah, be careful.
What would you do? Like, let's say, like, I was just like, this is a tricky question, you know what I mean? Because you don't know what it is. But I feel like being cooped up, and like, let's say I'm just like trying to be healthy, trying to be strong, but not like fucking over the top. Let's say I'm touring like 2 weeks every month. What is something you would tell somebody to do as like a basic workout every day they should try? Like,
Anything body weight. Honestly, if you're like, well, okay, so number one, Planet Fitness, even though like a lot of people are against it, as a touring band, is literally going to be your lifeline for multiple things. No matter where you are, that is a shower.
List them off. Shower.
That is a shower. No matter what, you can get your fitness in. You can work on your fitness. 90% of the time, you have a black card, so you can have a little bit more amenities than anything. If you're a band that needs something uploaded that you just don't have, you need Wi-Fi, and the venue doesn't have Wi-Fi, they have Wi-Fi.
Great point.
And you have like anything. You can do the Wi-Fi thing with Starbucks as well. Or
Okay.
anywhere, like Starbucks, Wawa,
Gas station.
anywhere. The quality is going to be weird. Starbucks is a really good one, and I heard Planet Fitness is pretty good. But as far as that, like it will always 100% be a shower. So even if you're not super duper into fitness, even though I recommend every band, especially touring, definitely be, because it takes a toll on your body.
Only $10 a month.
Yeah, and not only are you, when you work out, or not only are you going to be like trying to strengthen your body or trying to work on your cardiovascular, your mood's going to be better. Your productivity is going to be better, especially if you work out before your show and you have a little bit of downtime in between. Because don't go to the gym and then go right to your show. That's stupid. Don't do that.
Really? Why? I'm already sweaty.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
get
do
sweaty
that.
anyway.
Don't do that.
What if I just
I am so ready to walk into a Planet Fitness and watch a band member in skinny jeans try to run on the treadmill. I'm so ready for it. I'm waiting.
I'm surprised you haven't seen
That's
it.
a
I'm
good
surprised
challenge.
I haven't seen that.
That's a good challenge.
That's 100% a good challenge, and I'm not doing it because that's
I'll
stupid.
do it for you.
Do it.
I'm your guinea pig.
I'll film
You'll
it.
film it. I'm on your channel. I want to be video number 5.
Yeah, I'll film it.
I think that I'm just like super stoked to actually have you on the show to discuss these kind of things, because I feel like there's a lot of bands out there that just don't even think or don't even consider like staying in shape on tour.
It's very important, and a
things
lot
you
of people
brought up.
and a lot of people don't want to understand it. But maybe if you drank less, even though we're drinking, but like
No, but we're
it's okay.
celebrating.
We're celebrating.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly.
We're drinking
but, like,
every weekend, but
But like, if you drink less, drink more water,
Yeah.
and maybe get your ass to the gym. I'm not even saying every day, dude.
Every other
I'm
day,
saying every
3
other day,
times, 2
3
days.
times a week for 45 minutes. I toured a little bit as a band. I know that if you're on your shit, you have downtime.
Yes, because you make downtime.
Exactly. You make downtime, or you have downtime. I knew a guy who would go for jogs
I used to do that.
every stop. Not only did he want to go for a jog for fitness, but it got to show him the city.
Yeah,
He toured
that's-
the city real quick because he went on these 3, 4, 5 mile jogs around the city.
that's pretty cool.
No one should get lost. You have a phone.
Facts.
You have a GPS. No one should ever get lost. Ever.
If your phone's about to die, don't fucking go.
Yeah, don't go. Invest in a battery.
I also think that like half the battle is just getting out your front door to go to the gym. So if
Oh
you,
my god.
So if
Dude,
you have
even I have that problem.
Yeah.
the one person, the dude that's in the band that likes working out, get him to drive that day, because most likely if you're at the gym, you're forced to hop on a treadmill or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, and it doesn't have to be like super weight training. Like, you don't have to follow the really jacked guy. Just like
Yeah, you
do
don't need to.
simple stuff to make sure that you're able to perform at the best of your ability. And that's exactly how I'm going to say it, because if you try to fight me as a band saying, oh, well, this, that, if I tell you, hey, this is what it's going to need to take for you to perform at the tip top of your best ability, and you still tell me no, you're a shit band member.
There we go.
And that's what grinds his gears.
Like, yeah, for real. But like that, you don't care. Okay, well, you don't care. You rather drink all the time and do the stereotypical things,
Yeah.
but not put your fans first, not put your band first. Why are you here?
Yo, question.
Answer.
Perfect. I love. He always has these answers.
Always. I
He's like
try.
he's like a chest of answers.
Yeah.
Fucking
Open it up. Pandora's box.
Yeah. Fuck. Shit's about to get fucked up. All right. So, when do you know when it's not worth it anymore? When do you know whatever project you're involved with, it's time to walk away?
When it becomes not fun work.
Man, that was so.
What do you
honest.
What do you consider is fun though? So
When you're
I'm
dreading
guessing
it?
for you is
When
the
it becomes
business side.
fulfilling.
Yeah.
When it's not fulfilling anymore. If you can wake up and go, look, today's hard. This sucks. It's really hard. I am stressed. But I could not see myself doing anything else, and I love where I am. Even if I'm broke, and even if I'm struggling, I still love my job.
Do you think it's hard? All right, we're all creatives. We're all people who lead projects. We all have experience going ahead and managing a group of people. Should it be fair for those people like us to always have to wear that hat? Or is it reasonable enough to know that if we pass that off to someone and let them know, this is a busy month for me, I have this going on, these are the things we should focus on and try getting done, can you take over the operations?
Good luck. Good luck. If you're that type of person, good luck trying to take some time off, you'll immediately take the reins back because that's not how you
Because
would
it
do
doesn't work. You know what
It would never do it.
You know what's funny?
You would never ever do it.
Want to hear something funny? I was talking to Nick Brzezzi from fucking Man Overboard. We were fucking hanging out, and he told me, he's like, you know what, dude? I used to get really, really mad at the people I was working with sometimes because, and this doesn't mean like his band or anything like that. Like he was just talking about openly with different projects. He was like, I would expect them to produce and do the same amount of work as me. And
That's why I quit my first band.
And yeah, exactly. You think they're going to go up to your expectations. No
Correct.
one will ever meet your expectations. And the thing that you need to learn how to do is work with what you got. You know what I mean? And if what you think, and that's important. That's what really, I guess what I'm asking is, what if what you're working with isn't a lot? What if you're overworking yourself because the team you chose isn't enough? And is it wrong for you to walk away then?
It's not wrong for you to walk away as long as you're ready for it. As long as you're ready to give up whatever you're doing or to give up the people around you that are doing.
Yeah.
If it's one person, get rid of the person. You know, if you have a house and the light bulb breaks, it's the same thing with a relationship. I'm pretty sure you've all heard this analogy. House is like a relationship. You know, a fight in the relationship is like a light bulb going out.
Yeah.
You don't sell the house because of the light bulb. You fix the light bulb.
I actually never heard that.
Really?
That's cool.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So, yeah, you heard it. So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with any relationship at all. Professional, business,
so
band,
beautiful.
whatever. So, in my opinion, that's it. So when it becomes, going back to the initial question, when it becomes time to move on, is when you legitimately don't like where you're at. And you'll know immediately.
Whew.
You'll know immediately that this is not worth it. It is not worth the time. So my old band, what I told you that grind my gears where you have to borrow, that was us. And I hated it. Oh my God. I was like, we are the youngest bands on every bill and we're acting like it. I told him, like, you have 6 months to get your own equipment, including myself.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, we're done.
And who did it? Only you?
Me and the bassist.
I hope the bassist is doing well.
He's in the band assigned that I
Well,
not there. No, he's doing
that makes
really
sense.
no,
That
he's
makes
out.
sense.
He's exactly. He's doing really well. Immediate. So we got to a show, and that's when I bought my Dark Horse kit
nice.
because I'm like, all right, well, Dark Horse isn't PDP. You can't go buy that at a Guitar Center. So I'm like, all right, this will show a little bit of initiative. It's $1,000 kit. So I was like, all right, who's got it? Bassist was like, me. Cool. Looked at the guitarist, didn't have it. That was our last show. I stuck to my guns. It wasn't worth it for me anymore.
Damn, bro.
It's hard to stick to your guns like
I
that.
love
It
you.
wasn't worth it for me anymore because that immediately showed me I'm carrying this band.
And you don't need to carry it, and you shouldn't feel bad about it.
There
because
was a difference between being the dad of the band or being the dad of your group and carrying it like Atlas. If you are the band and you are the one carrying the band, there are people out there that are literally grinding just as hard as you, that if you guys combined, oh my God, you'd take over.
Yeah.
But you're stuck with people that are riding. Now I understand the saying of too many cooks in the kitchen or there's too many chiefs, not enough Indians. No,
That's not what you're saying.
that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is if there are you and a bunch of people that don't give a shit or give a shit about where you're going, but not enough to put in the work, they're not even Indians.
Yeah.
They're like squatters.
Yeah.
They're just there.
They're all relying on you to carry the work.
You're the motor in the roller coaster and they're strapped in.
And they're strapped into you because they know this guy's doing something. I don't want to miss out on this. Let me let him continue to do the work.
Yeah. And so, and this is where it comes into...
Fuck.
And this is where it comes into making a band a business and making it for pleasure. Like if I'm for pleasure and I'm just chilling and having fun, I don't give a shit who's in the band.
Facts. Zero.
I don't give a shit. You could be my best friend. You could get high every day.
You could
be
smoke
a
on
great
stage.
Yeah. You could literally put your guitar down and walk off stage to do a shot with a pretty girl. I would not care.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
But if I'm taking it as a business,
I'll fucking murder you.
you're not even getting close to the first show.
Yeah, you're already out.
I already know who you are.
Yeah, you're already
So,
out.
like, there's a difference.
Well, listen, man. Fucking, let's go ahead and, like, let's get closer to wrapping this up right now.
Do from me to you.
From me to you. It's a segment that fucking we love to talk about. If you had a chance to go ahead and say a little from me to everyone else in the crowd right now, to the crowded rooms, what would you give them as insight, advice, anything? If you could put your fucking word out, if you could change someone's life and just tell them something that might help them out in this hard time, what would it be?
Figure out who you are, and then just don't stop. Because the hardest thing about trying to figure yourself out is you know who you are. Like, in the very basics of it. You may not know who you want to be in 10 years. You may not know what career you want to be in. You may not know, but you know what interests you, and you know what you can do because it nonstop calls you. It's like a siren song. It's like it nonstop. You hear it all the time. You think about it. Find out who you are and just go. Because like we said earlier, no matter what you're into, there's going to be people that are interested in what you're in. Those are the people that you'll have no problem connecting with. And it's so hard for me to say it because I still struggle with it. I still struggle with finding a group of people that I want to be involved with and trying to mold myself into what their mold is.
Or what they need.
Not even, yes, and not even what they need, but what they would accept.
Yeah, that's true.
Instead of just being myself and finding people that accept me for that. It's so much easier in the long run, man. So for me to everybody else is just find what you like, find what makes you happy, and just go. There's going to be hard things along the way. There's going to be hard things to come to grips with, like maybe dropping somebody that you've been friends with forever. You don't have to drop them completely.
You just don't need to work with them anymore.
But understand that your well-being is a lot more important than trying to salvage something. The best analogy I've ever heard about that particular thing is like holding a rope with a weight on the end of a cliff. Sometimes holding that rope burns your hands to shit. But letting go of that rope, that weight isn't going to feel the drop. And you're not going to feel the burn anymore.
Wow.
You know? So sometimes holding the rope is so much pain on you than letting go and knowing at the turn nothing will happen to either of you. So finding what you like to do and just going for it. Just being true to yourself, because like we said before, immediately as you are inauthentic, you'll be labeled as inauthentic. And then you'll be looked at as that. So the people that are associated with you will not really be associated with you when your back's turned. So if you're authentic, people will have you, have your back even when you're not there. So that's what I have.
I love that.
I'll drink to that again.
Cheers, mates. All right,
Cheers.
let's wrap it up.
All right.
Jesse,
Wrap it up.
any plugs?
Like all my videos and
We're gonna
subscribe.
post-
Yeah, subscribe to my YouTube page.
We're gonna put all the fucking links and names to it. What's the name of it all?
So the YouTube page is my full name, which is Jesse James Smith. I know it's the three names. I know I'm not an assassin. I swear to God.
Jesse James Smith.
Jesse James Smith, and I didn't start West Coast Customs. I'm not an outlaw. I'm a drummer, funny guy that likes fitness. So, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I promise there's a lot of content coming that's going to range over almost anything anyone could like. It's all the stuff that I like. So if you kind of liked what I said today, then you're going to love my channel.
Fucking thank you guys so much. Thank you for following us. Episode 15, great milestone for us. Love you guys so much. Make sure to
Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell for future episodes. And thanks for watching To All the Crowded Rooms.